Welcome to Rasastra class. Myself, Dr. Devashish Panigai. Today, we are going to discuss the Rasastra Paribhasa, third part. In the previous classes, we already discussed regarding the Paribhasa definition along with Punarbhava, along with Avapa, Nirbhapa, Dhalana, Sodhana, Bhavana, Jarana, Murchana, etc. Today, we are going to discuss on Dhruti and some Bhasma Pariksha parameters, the ancient parameters described in our classical texts, how to approve or how to confirm before clinical use that Bhasmas has been prepared properly and it will be safe to use without any side effects. So, following some general parameters, common parameters are used on those days, like Rekhapurna, Niruddha, Varitara, Apunarbhava, etc. Though we already have discussed that there are numerous terminologies used in Ayurveda, but as per CCIM syllabus for BMS, only these parameters or only these terminologies are prescribed in your syllabus. So regarding Dhruti, what is Dhruti? The definition according to Rasaratna Samuccaya, औषध आधमान योगेन लोह धत्वादिकं तथा संतिष्ठते द्रवाकारं सा धृति परिकीर्तिता. So dhruti in other words is liquid form of any metal, mineral, precious stones, etc. In current days also, it is possible to liquefy or in molten state, convert molten state of metals, but it will be for temporary period, not for permanent natures. But what our acharyas have described in the classics, once it is converted to dhruti, it will remain molten, remain liquid forever. It may be metal like gold, Swarna Dhruti. It may be non-metal, Gandhak, sulfur like Gandhaka Dhruti. It may be precious stones like Hiraka, diamond, diamond Dhruti, etc. So, how it will be possible? We know with temperature everything gets melted and remains in liquid phase, like water is liquid phase, ice is in solid phase, and the vapor is in gaseous phase. So most of the materials have these three phases except some limited ones. So it is easy to convert into liquid form during heating phase, like you have observed that very common example I am giving here, the wax mombatti. When we use the candle, due to temperature it starts melting, and after sometimes when it cools down again it converts to its solid state. So if we try to melt any metal by giving temperature specifically to that particular melting point, it will be melted, but it will again solidify when after it starts cooling. So by adding some specific aushadha, medicines, drugs, along with temperature, adhamana, loha dhatwadikam, iron, metal, adi, non-metal, other stones, etc. When converts to santistate dravakara, converts to drava, liquid states, that is called dhruti. Okay. So in Ayurveda text, we can also find examples of Garbha Dhruti and Vaya Dhruti. It will be discussed in the Parada chapter. So what are the Dhruti characteristics? There are 5 Dhruti characteristics described in Ayurveda Rasaratna Samuchaya. Number 1, Nirlepatvam. Number 2, Dhrutatvam. Number 3, Tejatvam. Number 4, Laghuta. And 5th number is Asanyagasya Sutena Panchadha Dhruti Lakshanam. So what is Nirlepatvam? Non-sticking. It should not stick to the container. If we convert Swarna or gold Dhruti from gold metal, after it's converting to molten state, liquid state, it should not be adhered to the container or container wall. It should be non-sticking. It should be freely moving like water in a glass. Okay, so it is Nirlepatvam. Then number 2, Dhrutatvam means Dhruti means liquid. So Dhruta means liquid state, sweeps conditions. After liquid state only, the movement will be more, and it's Dhruta or Dhruti. Should be uniformly molten. It should not be deposited in the base, or it should be any cream-like in the surface. Not like that. It should be uniformly molten and liquefied state. Number 3, Tejatvam. It should be lustrous. Like gold have its lusters, but whenever we convert it to molten state, it should not lose its luster. It should remain its lustrous state. Number 4, Laghuta means lighter than the original weight. But in case of water, the condition changes. Means ice is the solid state and liquid water is the liquid state. But we already know that ice floats over water, means water is heavier and ice is lighter. But here it will be reverse. The specific gravity will change from its solid state to lower in liquid state. Okay, so it will be converted to Laghutvam, or in Dhruti conditions the specific gravity will be lower than its solid state with comparison to solid state. And number 5th, Asamyagasya Sutena. In many classics, it is written as Samyagyesa Sutena. Asanyaga, it will be not reacting with mercury. Sanyamagata Sutena, it will be reactive to mercury. Though there are difference of commentary, so it will be discussed in your higher studies, but it should be readily mixed with the mercury, otherwise there should not be any concept of Garbha-dhruti or Vaya-dhruti. Okay. Now vessels for dhruti. Different musas are described according to their indications, should be used for the purpose. That is Vajra Dravani Musa for Vajra, and Maha Musa for Abraka Dhruti, and Lohadi Sattva, etc. For storage, Kusumba Taila Madhyetu Samsthapaya Dhrutaya Uthaka. So Dhruti is to be stored in glass containers, particularly Ratnadi Dhrutis in Kusumba Taila, inside the Kusumba Taila. Now we will discuss regarding some parameters of Bhasma Pariksha, like Baritara, Rekapurna, Apunarvava, Munam, Niruttam, etc. So according to the Rasaratna Samuchaya reference, Bhutam Tarati Yattoye Loham Baritaram Hita. whenever one metal or mineral converts to proper Bhasma form, it will have Baritara property, means it will float over water. Number 2, Angushtha Tarjani Spustam Yad Rekhantere Viset Nutloham Tadustate Rekhapurna Vidhanata. So when it will be converted to metals, will be converted to proper Bhasma form, it will be so fine that it should be fixed in the finger wrist. Then third one is Buddha Gunja Sukhasparsa Madhva Jesa Yojitam Nayanti Prakriti Mahatanat Apunarbhava Muchyate. So whenever one tries to melt the Bhasma with the help of Dravaka Varga or Mitra Panchaka drugs, so it will be not melted, or it will not convert to its original form of Punarbhava. From Bhasma form to, it will not regain its metallic form. Okay. Now, Tasya Pari Guru Dravyam Dhanyam Cha Paniyet Dhuvam Hamsavat Tiriyate Varinyam Uttamam Parikirtutam. So it is related with the Baritara Pariksha in the first line. Not only it will float, the Bhasma when it converts to Bhasma form, not only it will float over water, but it can bear the weight of dhanya like board. And number 50 is Ropyana Saha Sanyuktam Dhatmam Ropyana no lage tada niruddham ityuktam loham tad apunarbhava. So it is like apunarbhava test of Buddha Gunja. Same conditions will be here. It will be not forming alloy with silver metal, that is Ropya. Here some figure is given like Rekha Purnatva Pariksha. It should be the Bhasma should be inserted in inside the ridges. Baritara Pariksha, it should be float over the water, and for Niruddha Pariksha, the Bhasma, particular Bhasma, should be given temperature with Rajata, and there will be no weight gain of Rajata or no color change. Then Apunarbhava Pariksha is done with Mitra Panchaka. Then Niruddha Pariksha also, after mixing with silver, it is heated up to the Uta temperature of that particular Bhasma. Now we will describe the Rekhapurna. Angushtha Tarjani Samsusta Yadrakantare Visayet Mutaloham Taduriste Rekhapurna Vidhanata. Procedure: a small amount of incinerated metal is to be rubbed in between the index finger and the thumb. If the Bhasma particles enters into the creases or the finger prints, it indicates that the metal is incinerated properly. It signifies the fineness, indicates the minuteness and the fineness of the Bhasma. Its bioavailability may be influenced by this factor, and practically the particle size of 35 micron is capable of lodging in furrows of the finger. In the Baritara, Bhutam Tarati Yattaye Loham Baritara Hitar, clear pure water is to be taken, or potable water may be taken into a transparent glass beaker, and a little amount of Bhasma is to be sprinkled over the transient surface of the water. The floating character of the Bhasma indicates that the incineration process adopted was proper. Significance: the rationale behind this test may be that smaller the particle size, larger will be the surface area. Particles with larger surface area will float on water like boat in any river or sea. This test indicates the lightness of Bhasma. Floating of Bhasma over the surface of water indicates microfineness and lightness of the particles devoid of heaviness. Bhasma becomes so fine that it cannot break the surface tension of the water. Here, bulk density of Bhasma can be standardized, which is a factor for floating of any object in liquid. This is the photograph of Unam Pariksha. So Bhasma is floating, and over the bhasma, some dhanya rasi will be kept, and it will also floats over there. Now niruddha rapyana sah sanyuktam dhvatam rupena no laget tada niruddham ityuktam loham tad apunarbhava. So apunarbhava guda gunja sukasparsa madhvajayaso yojitam nayati prakriti dhatam apunarbhava uchati. So dhatu bhasma plus mitra panchaka dravyas should be put in musa. Dhatu bhasma is mixed with guda gunja, tankana, honey and ajya all in equal quantity and subjected to heat. There should not be reoccurrence of the metallic form of the bhasma. Commentary according to Rasaratna Samiche, it is mentioned as dhnatam, which means heat is given in increased intensity, which may prove the taste negative. Acharya Yadavji Trikamji mentions word putanat, which means heat given for the apunarbhava should be equal to the puta given during the preparation of that particular bhasma. Significance: an unstable metallic compound can reduce to metallic state during this test by carbon reduction process. Test is designed to detect any loose bond in the compound form after marana. Absence of reduction denotes a good quality bhasma. When bhasma heated with mitra panchaka gana, it should not regain its metallic state. Here, similar gradations of heat should be given at which particular bhasma is formed. Mitra panchaka gana dravyas used may act as a source of carbon on that particular temperature. An unstable metallic compound can reduce the metallic state during this test by carbon reduction process. In this test, the apunarbhava, if bhasma is not properly formed, then it will be in the form of small particles of dhatus. Mitra panchaka gana mixing with bhasma chakrika, vimana apunarbhava positive. Some siddhi characteristics of bhasma, like for abraka bhasma, it should be nischandra, lustreless, dantagre kachakachatta, and suksmatva, lochana anjana samniva. For maksika or tutha and tamra bhasma, the copper containing materials, it should be avami, amla pariksha should be done for this. For kasisa, also avami and nirasa. And for other dhatu bhasma, it should be niruddha and nirdhura. Thank you.